Hello again team, it's Jess or Jashikaran and welcome back for another video. Today I'm setting up my weekly spreads for May. As usual, the equipment that I've used in this setup is linked in the description box below, but here you can see I'm just starting off with laying down some washi tape on the left hand page. This is going to separate my monthly to-do list from each of the sections that I have for each day of each week of May. The lines I'm ruling in here are going to separate where I put the date from where I have my task list. After having seen them a lot in my social media feed lately, I also really wanted to use some Dutch doors for my weeklies. This not only allows me to have some visual interest with the little tabs that I'm cutting out here, I ended up colouring those in with Tombow Dual brush markers, but it also means that I'll be able to see my monthly task list regardless of which week I'm in. It also meant that I was able to include a decorative panel down the right hand side, which I filled in towards the end of my setup. I really like Dutch doors for being able to have certain parts of a spread visible across multiple spreads. So in this case, the task list and the decorative panel. It means you don't have to draw the same thing out over and over again, or in the case of the task list, you can refer to something functional without having to write it out on each subsequent spread. To make these Dutch doors though, I first sketched in where I wanted my tabs to go. Each of these were 2 squares wide and 6 squares long. And then I carefully cut away 8 columns worth of squares from the edge of each page, making sure not to cut through my tabs. To make things a bit prettier, I also slanted the edges on each of the tabs, and I used my corner rounder to smooth out the sharp edges at the top and bottom of each of the doors. When it came to adding the colour on each of the tabs, because I wanted to make sure I had a crisp line between where the colour was and where the colour wasn't, I used washi tape to protect my page and then went over the tabs with my Tombows. I also made sure to put a piece of paper behind my tab, just so that I didn't accidentally colour in the page underneath the tabs. Last month I found that I was using my journal way more consistently than previous months, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, getting in, filling in my trackers, actually writing stuff in my to-do list and then checking it off. If you guys have been here for a while, you'll know that for the past year and a bit, I've been trialling some things with my planning system, which has led to some varied completion in my bullet journal. So it was really nice to have a good month in terms of completion in April. As you can probably tell, for May I've decided that I'm going to be using the same style of weekly spread for the entire month. Despite the fact that pretty much every time that I go with this option for a month, the last couple of weeks don't really get used because I kind of get a bit bored with them. I'm hoping that coming off a month where I've been so much more consistent in my journal will help. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but so far, so good. With the Dutch doors done though, it was time to add the details to these layouts. Starting with the header, I decided to use the same colour as I had for the tab. So on this first one, using pink, second one using blue, etc. You'll see that next to the lines that I ruled out before, I've also sketched in a star, and I've got a little subheader for what day of the week it is. With enough room for 8 spaces, I decided also to include a note section on each week. So Monday through Thursday on the left, and then Friday through Sunday and the note section on the right. Organising it in this way meant that each of my days gets the same amount of space, the note section is a little bit bigger, and there was enough space to have the header on the left. Originally I was toying with the idea of having a vertical layout, so probably splitting each page in half horizontally, and then having 4 columns across the spread for boxes. So there'd be 4 days along the top, and then 3 days along the bottom, and then a note section in the bottom right hand corner. I decided to go with the horizontal that I have here though, because it gives me less space to write down tasks for each day. And I don't want to be overloading my days and getting myself all overwhelmed with the amount of things I need to do. Typically I would prefer vertical layouts, but having these on the Dutch doors, and thus having a little bit of a narrower space, means that I'm quite content with the space that I have for each day. On the final spread of this setup, which you may have seen, this is where I'm going to have a monthly reflection. I haven't decided what sections I want to include just yet, so I don't set it up in this video, but it's a layout type that I've missed using, so I'm hoping to set my one up around mid-month. You can see here I'm just drawing in the decorative panel down the right hand side, sticking with the same theme that I used for my monthly setup. I've appreciated this simple theme so far this month because I'm back at school for term 2, and things are already getting busy. We just got our report writing timeline today, and I am not looking forward to the stress that usually comes with report writing. Question of the day for you guys though, do you prefer horizontal or vertical weekly layouts? As I said, I normally tend towards vertical styles, but I do quite like this style of horizontal with the panels on the side. I'm hoping that I get good use out of my weekly spreads this month, and as I said, so far it is going well. Hopefully you guys found today's video useful or at least enjoyable. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more on planning, productivity and personal development. Until next time, bye!